Welcome to our presentation on PJM demand response programs for schools. My name is Lori Wiegand Jackson and I am Senior Vice President of IP Keys Power Partners. IP Keys Power Partners is a wholly owned subsidiary of IP Keys Technologies. We're a majority woman-owned business and Small Business Administration certified 8A company that was established in 2005. We have nearly 200 employees and our focus is in the areas of Department of Defense, cybersecurity, and energy. Our company is headquartered in Eatontown, New Jersey with offices in California, Virginia, and Maryland. We've been recognized by Inc. magazine as one of the fastest 500 growing companies in 2 years in a row. And our energy sector clients include Hawaii Electric, Zero Energy, Schneider Electric, and Walmart. And in New Jersey, the schools that we support include Hunterdon Regional Central High School, Mountainside School District, Voorhees School District, Berlin, Lopatcong, Reddington, Somerset School Districts, and others. In September of 2014, IP Keys Power Partners acquired North America Power Partners, a leading aggregator of demand response programs and services. And we are active in the PJM markets from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic regions and in California. And our mission is to deliver secure technology integration, consulting services and software for the energy and DoD sectors. Our agenda today is to review the new rules for PJM's capacity program that are going into effect the summer of 2015, the importance of automating your demand response and AutoDR technology to meet those new program requirements, opportunities in the synchronized reserves market, limits on the use of generation, and what your revenue forecasts are for 2015 to 2017 program years. And we'll follow with a Q&A session. So I'd like to start with a discussion about what hasn't changed. Demand response is the reduction in electric consumption in response to a signal, an emergency notice coming from the PJM ISO, or a high price signal. Customers cut back on their electric use for a specific time period in response to those signals. The limited DR program runs from June through September. An availability period is Monday through Friday, noon to 8 p.m., not including holidays. There are a maximum of 10 call events in that June 1 to September 30th period. The maximum event duration is 6 hours, and there is no more than one event per day. If there are no dispatched events in that summer period, then you must participate in a test event. There are two methods for determining performance. One is to establish a firm service level, or FSL, and the other is a guaranteed load drop. Over 99% of customers choose the firm service level option. That firm service level establishes the point at which you will maintain your usage at or below. So it's the meter reading level during the event, and as long as your usage is at that level or below, you have met your requirement under a firm service level performance. In addition to the mandatory June through September period, events can also be dispatched from October through May, but participation is voluntary. And if you do participate, you'd receive an emergency energy payment plus any pre-approved shutdown costs. Shutdown costs may be submitted to cover fixed costs from participating in an event. Your participation level is capped at the PLC. That's your peak load contribution. Your peak load contribution is determined based on your usage during the 5 coincident peak days that occur system-wide on PJM's system. This past year, those 5 CP days and hours occurred on June 17th, June 18th, July 1st, July 22nd, and September 5th. PJM does charge a penalty for non-performance, but as the curtailment service provider, we manage that so that you would only lose your payments as a result of non-performance. You would never make a payment to us in the event you did not perform. And payments are made whether or not there is a call event. But we do have some significant new rules for the PJM capacity program that are going into effect this year. First is a 30-minute notice requirement. Previously, the program allowed up to a minimum of a 2-hour notice, and that has been reduced to just 30 minutes. You may qualify for an exemption, but based on the requirements for that, it is unlikely that schools will qualify for an exemption to the notice provision. So you can count on having to move from responding in 2 hours to, for this summer, responding with just 30-minute notice. The emergency energy payment that is made during events has increased up to $1,849 per megawatt hour. So for every hour of events that are dispatched, that energy payment is made to the curtailment service provider and shared with you in accordance with your revenue splits. There are two types of emergency events that PJM is calling now, a pre-emergency event and an emergency event. The pre-emergency events are what they require all customers to respond to unless you are using a generator to respond. New Jersey does, however, have restrictions on the use of emergency generators, which we will discuss later in the presentation. The last rule change that we're discussing today is the partial clock hour dispatch. So in the past, dispatch may have occurred on the hour. In this case, PJM will be dispatching mid-hour or along the minutes of an hour, and any period past 30 minutes into the hour will be included and prorated for performance assessments. So that is also a change. In addition, energy efficiency can qualify for PJM capacity payments. Energy efficiency projects may qualify, such as lighting, HVAC replacement, anything that results in a permanent demand reduction and that was completed after June 1 of 2011 can qualify. It must reduce summer peak load, so it must be reducing demand June through September, and for energy efficiency it is specifically for the time frame 2 to 6 p.m. PJM only pays for energy efficiency projects for up to 4 years. So a project completed between June 2nd of 2011 and May 1st of 2012 will only qualify for 1 year of payments, but projects installed later will qualify for 2 to 4 years of payments. We'll register your energy efficiency and cover the charges associated with measurement and verification for EE projects. We'll qualify the project and register for them in accordance with PJM's requirements. Specific information that is required are line-by-line drawings for lighting and your rebate application or a proposal, and a proposal with scope of work and rebate application if you have one for your HVAC projects. Projects that don't qualify are building automation or energy management systems, occupancy sensors, white roofs, building envelope upgrades. And uniquely in PSE&G, they retain the rights to the capacity payments, and you are not eligible for energy efficiency payments from the PJM capacity program if that energy efficiency project was funded in part by the PSE&G Hospital Efficiency Program or the PSE&G Direct Install Rebate Program. Other than that, for all other New Jersey utilities and other PSE&G programs, you would qualify. So when we look at the changes that have been made to the PJM capacity program for demand response, the 30-minute notice provision is the most significant change and the one that most schools are concerned about. In order to help our schools to participate with 30-minute notice, we have developed an auto-DR technology. So what is auto-DR? Auto-DR automates your demand reductions in response to signals that are sent from a machine to a machine. There is no manual intervention required to participate in demand response events. So it enables a 30-minute or shorter participation level. The signals are sent from PJM and transmitted in real time to customer equipment through our ICE system. ICE stands for Energy Interoperability System and Server. Our equipment and applications allow for event signals and price signals to be sent and for load reduction to be initiated in just minutes. It enables you to participate in fast response DR programs, in price response, and demand management to help reduce your electric bills automatically, providing notice and override options. Auto-DR leverages our smart grid standards and security guidelines. Simply, the architecture of the system receives information from the ISO. That information is sent to our server, and our server then sends the information out to all of our customers. But it is a two-way communication. So in addition to us sending signaling information out and notification information out automatically, we also receive information back from the site. We're receiving meter data in real time, so we're able to see what the participation level is as the events are happening, and it also confirms that the signals are received. We've developed our auto-DR system to a standard called OpenADR. OpenADR stands for Open Automated Demand Response, and it provides a non-proprietary open standard for two-way secure communication about electric prices and system grid reliability events directly to customers over networks such as the Internet. It supports interoperability as an open standard among control equipment and energy markets. It is the specification that was supported and developed in conjunction with the U.S. Department of Energy, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and the Smart Grid Interoperability Standards effort. The highest level of certification is OpenADR 2.0b, and our ICE system has that certification. So when you have equipment that is OpenADR certified, it can seamlessly talk to other equipment that is likewise certified. So if you were to install a OpenADR lighting control, it will automatically be able to speak to our OpenADR Icebox system. You can use the OpenADR application to enable fast response, not just to meet 30-minute notice, but also to meet other program requirements, such as the Ancillary Services Synchronized Reserves Program, which provides for 10-minute notice. It allows you to respond to events even if personnel are not available at the time the event is dispatched, since it is fully automated. It provides for remote monitoring, so you can see how well you're doing to your event while the event is happening and make adjustments accordingly. And it allows for override options, so you still have complete control over your facility during any event. Overall, the auto-DR solution reduces the stress of program compliance. Our system sends and acknowledges DR events. It defines your availability and gives you the ability to opt in or opt out. Through price response, it helps you to avoid market volatility. And with our OpenADR 2.0b standards, provides for multiple levels, so you can set and forget, not be worried about how you participate during your call event, but simply have multiple levels pre-designed to ensure compliance. One example of our auto-DR system at work is at Hunterdon Central Regional High School. They have 2 buildings on the campus. Each one has its own ice box. The auto-DR system is integrated into the school's existing building automation system. We hired the school's controls vendor to program the load reduction responses to the building automation system, and in this case, it's a Johnson Controls system. We established 2 levels of response, a standard default response and a higher level of response. And now the school has the ability to automatically respond to any event, and if they choose to, upon notification, they can easily establish they'd like to participate at a higher level. So now response times are just minutes instead of hours. It addresses compliance with the new rule change for 30-minute response that starts June 1 of this year, and it supports automatic participation in economic bidding for real-time or day-ahead markets in PJM, and participation in the Ancillary Services Synchronized Reserves programs of PJM, allowing Hunterdon Central High School to maximize their revenue stream and their performance. Another example is at the Master's College. It's a private Christian school and seminary located in Santa Clarita, California, with a campus of over 30 facilities, including dormitories, classrooms, gymnasium, student center, and so on. At this particular college, they had no building automation, no centralized control of their HVAC or lighting. Each facility has individual rooftop units, and the dormitories have individual air conditioning units, all with simple thermostats. Participating in DR with 2-hour notice since 2008, they've earned nearly $200,000 by manually flipping off switches and circuit breakers. They were very challenged, therefore, to meet shorter notification timeframes with limited staff and maintain comfort levels for students and faculty. So our solution was to install wireless smart thermostats that are Open ADR certified with a centralized web-based management solution that allows the facility managers for the first time to align school schedules and HVAC use and comfort. And the result was secure DR participation and improved operations and reduced costs for electricity. The PJM Synchronized Reserves Program is enabled by our auto-DR solution. This is a short notice, short duration program. Notice is typically 10 minutes or less, and the duration is less than an hour, though typically it is 15 minutes or less. It pays similarly to the capacity program, whether an event is called or not, and our auto-DR system dispatches the equipment and automatically shuts down or ramps down only the selected equipment for the time frame determined. We can have standing bids with weekly or monthly reviews and updates, but you can also update on a daily basis to opt out of the program at any time. An example of the payments that could be made in that program, if you had 500 kW of load reduction capability and our automated system, you could earn approximately $8,000 of additional revenue in this program alone. And last year, because we had the polar vortex, that same resource almost increased its value by almost 50%, up to $12,500 per year. Looking at the capacity program and what type of revenues you could earn this year and for the next 2 years, we provide the BRA, or base residual auction prices, from PJM. IPKeys Power Partners has capacity available from 2015 through 2018 at the base residual auction prices. Those prices for this region are from $150 for this summer, and then it does drop down for 2016 and 2017. So an example of the revenue that a client can earn at any of your school districts, using again 500 kW as the load reduction level and a 75-25 split with 5 meters, our gross revenue over 3 years is $50,000 minus our meter charges for our auto-DR solution. Your net revenue is $42,000 over 3 years. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you for joining us for this presentation.